Hi Flosstube, it's Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. Today is November 15th, a little more than a month until Christmas. I don't know how that happened, but this is my channel about cross stitch. This is Flosstube 59 and welcome to my channel. I've had some new people join and I really appreciate the questions that you put out there. Thank you for the comments and the subscriptions. So what has happened since the last time we talked? I went to the Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat. I got ready for that, which means when I go on vacation, I work more before I go on vacation than more when I get back from vacation. But I'm grateful for the employment that I have, and I'm grateful that I could go to a retreat. The Midwest Retreat was last weekend, and Michelle texted me and she said, "Hey, did you make your travel plans?" And I said, at the time I had, but she said, both of our travel partners to the retreat weren't able to go this year. So I changed my travel plans and flew into Minneapolis last Tuesday. Then we had the day on Wednesday just to hang out and visit the goats, pet the dogs, do some stitching, look at all her good stuff, and just, be friends. So I had a great day. Then we drove down on Thursday morning to Amana, Iowa, and the retreat was amazing. What was nice is that it was a smaller group. It was 31 people, and we were able to socially distance and be comfortable with that. And then if people, you can move around and socialize. So it was wonderful. And the Price Creek facility in Amana they're so nice there. They are so nice. So it was a good time. On Thursday, we sat down and stitched, and I think that was the day, no, we went to the Woolen mill on Friday. And so my table is covered with stuff, including some haul. I know it wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't have some haul. But then, so Thursday we chatted, we visited. Friday we went to the Woolen Needle. Did I say Woolen Mill? Woolen Needle on Friday morning. We came back, we stitched some more, and then Saturday we shopped in Amana some, and then we had our Theresa Koget did her presentation for her retreat project, and she's so interesting. I love listening to Theresa. I could listen to Theresa all day long. And her retreat, I'll show you the retreat piece. It's wonderful. There are also at least two other videos out there that sort of cover the retreat, which is Theresa Koget. I sat next to Theresa. She's a kindred spirit. I had a great time visiting with her. I sat next to Donna and Shauna, and they're so funny. They just keep everything lively. And then Michelle Rudy sat next to me, and Candy Askins, she sat across the table. She's so funny too. But everybody, I just was able to go around and visit with people, and I would say that it fed my soul. I did not realize how much I missed and needed that. So I was very grateful to go. Sunday we drove home, and then I didn't fly out until Monday late afternoon. So again, Michelle and I just sat around and drank coffee and petted the dogs, because the dogs are so funny. They crack me up. Visited with Gary a bit, and I went home. So let's talk a little bit about stitching. First I'm going to talk about the retreat, and I'm going to talk about some haul and some plans as well. And where do I want to start? Actually, I'm going to start with a couple of FFOs and a whip. That's what I'm going to talk about first. When I was at the retreat, I planned to take just a handful of smaller projects and one bigger project. So I was working on Heartstring Samplery. This is from the Pacific Northwest Summit. This is one of the patterns from Beth Twist, and it's so pretty, you guys. And I have an idea of how I want to finish this too. So I'm going to do something. I'm not going to quite use the materials that came in the kit. Some of it I will, and some of it I have a different vision for. And this is the finish. It's a fully finished piece. So the colors are so soft and pretty. What I like about this is Beth chose flowers that are Pacific Northwest native. So yeah, it's very, very pretty. And so stay tuned to my next video and I'll show you how that comes out. Hopefully I'll get that, I'll work on that maybe today. I don't know, let's be honest. And I've got a box down below to put stuff in because I'm gonna have to do that as I go through this video or I'm gonna be completely overwhelmed. The next one, and this one was stitched, I think I stitched this in a day. I think I started this at Michelle's house on the way home and I worked on it on the plane as well. This is Mary Holly Berries by With Thy Needle and Thread. Super fast stitch. Oh, I think I started this at Michelle's house. It's so sweet. And this has a little, one of those little table topper things you can finish it on. So I'm going to see if it fits. I'm not sure if I picked a fabric that may be a little too big. I don't remember, but I have a couple of those. I'll dig it out and see if that'll fit. So that was my second one. I do have another one. I don't know if I brought it down that I worked on. That's a Stitch Mania start. And I decided I'm going to have to do some, I'm either going to abandon that one or I'm going to pull some threads out and change them. Then I saw the original Sarah Chapel. I'm going to insert a picture of the original one. Theresa brought it to the retreat. And I was like, oh, I gasped because it was so beautiful, you guys. It is so gorgeous. It's like half the size of mine and I'm stitching it on 46 count. So it's on the tiniest fabric you can imagine. I'm going to go ahead and put the picture in here. So here's again the picture on the cover of the chart. And I had to pull part of this out. I had to pull this corner out and I've restitched it up and I started working on the house. This is on, sorry, I got a little bit of a shadow on it. This is on 46 count straw by Witchell, and it's on Zweigart base. So I did change the color of the flowers to Paprika by Belsois. It's a different color on the color list. It's more of a muted color, but I wanted a little bit more color on mine. So I worked on that, and that is my new Brunette. Once I finished English Garden Sampler, I needed to substitute or actually introduce my new Brunette, and my Brunette is my projects that have a little bit darker colorway. Here are the beautiful threads. Some of them are in bags, and actually I can see that I left a couple of them at my house. This is that paprika color. And it's funny how you see it on the skein. I tried probably 4 different colors before I found this one. Although it looks variegated, it looks more solid, like more dense in color, but when you stitch it on the fabric, it can look very different than this, right? So sometimes when you're searching for a substitute, you might have to try a few and think a little bit outside the box of what you might normally expect. So I worked on this a little bit at the retreat, and I worked on it a little bit last night. Those are my FFOs and my whip. Actually, my FOs, not my FFOs. I do have a couple finished objects from the retreat that I'll show you as we start to talk about the retreat. So let's see, where do I want to start? Theresa's project. I think I'll talk about Theresa's project first. Although I have stuff about to tip over here. So Theresa the Net was our designer, and Theresa brought us this gorgeous sampler. This is an original by Theresa. It's called Oh, and as in, oh, there's no place for the home like the holidays. What I love about this is Theresa used the O here and mirrored it up here, and then the O down below. So it's got a penny rug theme to it. It's a Christmas theme. And I am excited to start this one. I think I'm going to start it pretty soon. Here's the fabric. It came with 40 count unless you wanted something different, and you could pick a different fabric that suited you. And it came in this gorgeous box. So beautifully packaged. It was thrilling to open it. I really enjoyed it. And I'll tell you what I did. So we all worked on, this was really a retreat where I probably did more with punch needle, and I'll show you that in a minute, and wool felt. So this is a little pin cushion, and it has a bit of twine on the bottom. And then look at this. Can you see it? Isn't that adorable? I love this. It's so stinking cute. I can't wait to put it near my sewing machine. There was one more penny that you could put on here, but I just used an antique button instead. And I love this. It's so cute. Cute, cute, cute. Okay. And then also the other project we did was this, what did she call this? It is a scissors, it's a scissor something. And it's intended for you to put your scissors on this end. I haven't put mine back on yet. And you can drape it over your chair so that if your scissors kind of slide in, it won't get lost. Not all is lost because you can just pull on the end of it. So we made these little pennies. I put a couple of French knots and lazy daisies and made flowers on 2 of mine. And then you had your letter, which is, mine was an L, but I told Theresa, this is my lucky penny, so L is for lucky. And then I had another one that's a different color that I just put a couple of French knots in. So I was wearing it as a necklace a little bit. It was so much fun to make this. Very unusual. She's super creative. And again, Theresa's a great designer to go. If you can go to a retreat where she's a designer, it's well worth it. So that was from our retreat. Michelle also had a pattern for a pine cone. And I've got the kit. I haven't made it yet. It looks like it's going to be pretty easy. She posted the pattern to our retreat site. All right, so the rest of this is plans, and it is haul. All the haul, y'all. Let me just say that, oh, one other thing. So Theresa Koget, that girl is a kindred spirit. I just loved getting to know her, hanging out with her. If we lived close by, I would be at her house, she would be at my house, and we would have just a great time. So hopefully I get to spend some time with her in the future and attend a retreat where maybe she's a designer or we're at the retreat at the same place at the same time, because she is hooked on retreats now. She helped us with some punch needles. So I was not comfortable. For some reason, I was doing punch needle. I wasn't doing things right. It wasn't coming naturally. And she has a tutorial, which I wasn't aware of, but it was nice to have her there. She helped me. Michelle Rudy was also punching, and we asked a lot of questions. Donna was punching next to me. Theresa was punching this amazing, epic punch that was like this big. It's huge. It's a floss eater for sure, but it's phenomenal. She's such a true artist. So I had this punch needle that I had started, and I just pinned the back, you guys, so you didn't have to see all the white. And it's a little bit wonky because I've got pins in it, but all I did was draw a star on a piece of weaver's cloth and put a circle around it. And I made it the size of a little box that I have. So that's how I'm going to finish it. I'm going to, whatever you do, stitch it down, glue it to the box. And Theresa gave a good hint. You could just, if you see a little bit of white poking up on your finished piece, if whatever you're binding to the back doesn't completely cover it, just take a Sharpie and color the edge. I'm like, yes, why wouldn't you? My inside is still a little bit wonky. I see some spots that I have to go back in and fill in, at least one little spot. But I started working on the dark pieces, the dark parts when I was there, and having someone to give you just little tips like where the colors meet, you want to stitch away from that color, not toward it, because your loops will kind of get messed up or interlock. I'm like, of course, right? Doesn't that make sense? But I just thought this was so much fun. I love primitive stuff. I'm going to be doing more of this in the future for sure. For sure. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. So thank you for Theresa for your support and help with that. That was my other FO. All right. So let's talk about the woolen needle. And I have some video clips. I'm going to put them at the end. So if you don't want to watch them, you don't have to, but I've got couple funny ones. I got a funny one at least. I've got one that is, I didn't video at the woolen needle because my friend Lori, who I usually retreat with, We just did a Facebook Messenger live together so that she could see some of the good things there. And then I forgot to go around and do a tour, but Michelle has one on her video. And I also have some things from some of the shops in Amana. But let me tell you a little bit about some plants. I'm kind of all over the place here today. When I was working on, I asked in my last video, what plans do you have or what do you want to be stitching on? And there's a stitcher, I think her name's Deborah. Oh, I'm going to have to look it up, but I looked up on Instagram. We are going to, on Thanksgiving Day, start Newcastle Bouquet by Theresa Koget. So this is, I had some more of this straw, the 46 count straw by Witchell on the Zweigart fabric, and it was on the other end of my Sarah Chapel, and I felt like I was doing surgery because I have just enough linen. And I'll tell you this linen is cut with a little bit of a wonkiness to it, right? So when you're cutting your linen, make sure that you look to see if it's on the straight of grain or not. There's plenty. I have a 2-inch border on this, 2 or 2.5 inch, so there's plenty. But if I were to just pick it up, this cut side I know is fairly straight, and this is the other end, right? So make sure you're looking at that when you're cutting your fabric. Does it look square? And follow the thread. You can always pull a thread too if you want to, although 46 count might be kind of hard. But we're going to start this on Thanksgiving, and I have the Addicts silk conversion. The colors are stunning on this. And I want to say Carol Saltbox is the one, or maybe Brenda Sampler Stitcher. One of the two of them. Maybe buy this. Well, I own it. I bought it because I wanted to. But they influenced me, gave me some ideas. And this is going to look fantastic on here. Complete gorgeousness. So that is a Thanksgiving Day start that I have coming up. In the box it goes. The rest of this goodness is haul. I better take a drink because it's going to be a bit. And I have my exchange gift too. I have a video clip of the exchange smalls. I'll put that at the end. I did a painted one this time. And that's a risk because you're with stitchers, you know, but there was good feedback. I just felt like I probably would stitch one in the future instead of do a painted one because I think my partner was expecting a stitched piece. So she's super sweet about it. Now, the woolen needle. Let me show you what I picked up there. So Lori and I are going to do some wool applique, and I'm also obsessed with that. Holy cow. We both picked up this one. It's called Maple Sugar, and I'm going to put it a little bit close for you. It's gorgeous. They had this stitched and in the entryway. It's fantastically gorgeous. Let me tell you that. The woolen needle is in, just if you Google woolen needle Iowa, you'll be able to pull up their website. Here is the kit. And this is very reasonable. I mean, just my time to try and source this, if I were to not get the kit, it's worth getting the kit. The colors are just gorgeous. So there's the kit, and here is the thread. Now, I do love some Valdani. The variegation is gorgeous. I was trying to, when I was punch needling, my little Valdani ball was going everywhere. And Theresa was out shopping, Theresa Koget. She bought me a little cup to put my Valdani ball in. Isn't that cute? So that when I'm punching or whatever I'm doing, I'll be punching, I can just keep my little Valdani ball in there and punch away, and it won't go everywhere. So that was very sweet. Thank you, Theresa. I had forgotten about that. Also from the woolen needle is this gorgeous kit. I'm going to take it out of the plastic. Michelle showed this on her channel too. This is Autumn Splendor. This is one of the prettiest fall quilts I have ever seen. The dyed wool they dye it there is gorgeous. And it was funny because Michelle and I were looking at our fabric bundles, and she goes, "Oh, we got different colors." I said, "No, it's just the dyeing. If you flip it to the other side, you'll see some of the similar colors. But this is the wool, you guys. Look at that. It goes from like yellow to green to orange to red. And the colors, oh, it's so pretty. I had a hard time. I had a hard time buying the things and not buying everything. But here's the threads that go with it. So many good things. Thank goodness I only go there once a year because I would have to give them my wallet. What else did I pick up? Oh, this one. This is at the very beginning of the store. I'm not going to take this one out. This is so pretty. It's a round, and it's these colors inside here are actually more vibrant in person. I think the photo might not be quite as accurate. But if you look at the wools are just gorgeous. And this is the thread pack for that too. Okay, I think, oh, nope, there's one more. Of course there is. We saw this one last year and I didn't buy it. And I thought, by golly, I'm going to buy it. It comes in a red or a blue colorway. And I like both red and blue, but I'm probably more partial to red. Isn't that gorgeous? So this is quilted in the background. And then this sort of floral applique is wool. And so here is the wool. This is a cotton here, but the rest of this is all wool. It's this floral fabric. And sort of, this is called bronze. It's an interesting thread color, I thought. It's sort of a greenish, brownish, goldish color. So it'll be interesting to do some of these things. I need to go buy some soft fuse, I think, so I can cut out my pieces and fuse them down and stitch them together. So I'm so excited. I'm expanding my needlework repertoire. Although I had stuff I bought last year. Honestly, I just didn't get around to stitching some of that stuff. All right, moving stuff from one side of the table to the other. This I picked up online from Fiddlesticks. It's an Etsy shop. And I have a round tin that I have next to my stitchy spot that's galvanized. I got it from Hobby Lobby. It has like a lip about that big, but it's sort of the tin is oxidized and I love it, but when I touch it, it kind of gives me the shivers. I don't know what it is about the texture, but it just kind of gives me the, ugh, you know, sort of like cutting cardboard, oof, does the same thing. It's the fingernails on a chalkboard. Fingernails on a chalkboard aren't as bad for me, but the galvanized oxidized tin, not so good. Okay, so I picked this up from Fiddlesticks. She had a sale going on. She has cute stuff. Check out her channel. I was going to make one of these, just design one, and because I don't think it would be that hard, but then I saw this, I'm like, no, done. And I bought the kit, and it's not in the fall season right now, but it is, it's adorable. It is adorable. It's strawberries. I'll get a little bit closer. And the designer is Kath's Penny Designs. So here's the wool. Isn't this gorgeous? It looks like it should be a Christmas design, but it's not. And if it's a little bit too big for my tin, you can shrink it down. I could take it and I'm sure I could reduce it if I wanted to. 12-inch square. I don't know. I haven't messed around with it yet. That came when I was gone. And what else came? Well, let me just show you a few things. Actually, let me finish up the retreat since I'm kind of everywhere today. Theresa Koget, she gave us a free design. I think her patrons on her Patreon account also get this. This is what Theresa started stitching on. This was her first cross stitch. So she started up in the corner and she has like 8 stitches in. I did a few to get her going. She's working on 28 count even weave, and you know how it is when you start stitching, you're just not sure, but once you start to get the hang of it, then it just clicks and you're like, oh, I get it now. I get it. It's sort of like punch needles the same way. So I look forward to seeing Theresa do more stitching, but thank you, Theresa Koget, for the free design. And I want to say thank you to Kathy. I met Kathy at the retreat. So this is something that's super interesting. This she picked up at Target. And it is, I think, just like a table runner or a placemat. Isn't that beautiful? And it looks like cross stitch. She had it down in front of her and she had all of her stitching items on this mat. So first it creates a definition of your workspace, which is good because if you're at a retreat, like I start to expand. In fact, Michelle's giving me a hard time, but my stuff is like all of a sudden, I think, you know, I was everywhere. And so I started bringing my stuff back in. So this is a good visual cue. But the other thing that Kathy said she learned this at a retreat, that a friend had a sampler that she was working on, and she went to the retreat. She put it on the table, and there was something on the table that got on her sampler. And can you talk about being upset? I would be so mad if that was the case. So Kathy saw me admire this, and she at the end of the retreat, she gave it to me, which is so thoughtful. It didn't have to happen, but she was just so nice. She said, I know where to get another one of these, and I want you to have this. And just the moment of kindness. More of that, please. That's what our world needs, is more kindness. So thank you, Kathy. I will put this in my retreat bag to make sure that I take to future retreats. More stuff. Oh, I'll save this for next. I picked this up in a minute at one of the I call it junk stores. One of the stores. So I make sugar cookies. I have my Aunt Barbara's sugar cookie recipe, which is so good. I bought this to make them, but you know what you could do? You could put a punch needle in there. You could put a cross stitch in there. And if you just mount it to a board and then tuck it in there, you can take it out and still use this. So, you know, found objects, sometimes they just make the best objects for finishing. And it's got some patina on it. Look at that. It's great. I also found this little tart, which was hardly anything. And it's like, I think it was $4. It's also patinaed up. This will make an adorable little small, and you can drill a hole in it and then make an ornament if you wanted to. And then I picked this look at how cute this little bun pan is. He's so cute. I think I got this at the general store. No, I didn't get it at the general store. Anyway, the general store in Amanda, I'll put a little clip at the end of their checkout stand, and all the snow globes. They had a whole wall of snow globes that were so fascinating. They were all going and they were swirling glitter. It was gorgeous. But this will be cute. You could put a small in this, and it would sit cute on the table like this, or you could put it like this, or you could just hang this in your wall in your kitchen. And then I did pick up some buttons. I always wonder who's collected these buttons and how did they get combined, and you know, whose stuff were they on before, or where'd they come from? In this tall baby jar. I used to save these. I finally got rid of them, but buttons, great storage solution. And then I have another little bag of them too. I had bought at another place. What I like about these, I use these on my project bags. There's a lot of sort of clearer ones here that I really like to put on my fob of zipper pull in my project bags. And then I found a couple spools at my favorite store, the Painted Cupboard in Amana. One's a little bit darker, one's a little bit lighter. One has red, one has black. These potentially would be the finishes that you can sew around and then unroll it, if you will. Little samplers, anything you want. Oh, itchy nose. Anything you want to put on them. Or I could just put them in as display. Now I want to talk about the exchange. So I selected from the finish from Jen's Counted Threads. So Jen is on Instagram. What I would like to say is that Jen did an outstanding job with this. She told me, she goes, of course I picked the person who's done strawberries before. Girlfriend, this is incredible. You did a fantastic job. This is Dashing Through the Snow. I want to say it might be an Erica Michaels pattern. And look at this. Jingle bells. Look at how beautifully stitched this is. And then a little topper. It was adorable. She put some ribbons that she tucked in with just a pin. So adorable. And she also put and this is where I could have done better. I didn't realize that we were gonna add little extra goodies in the retreat exchange stuff, but she put in a couple of needle minders, so cute, and some thread, and these adorable red scissors. So red is my color, girlfriend. You did a great job, and I so thank you for your generosity. And I'll put a video again at the end of the exchange table. I'm a little bit all over the place here. I'm so sorry. What else did I get at the retreat? So Theresa had a pop-up shop, and there was all kinds of goodness there. We helped her get set up. Everyone worked as a team, and Theresa had some travel challenges that were unexpected. She, I think she arrived on Friday. No, she arrived like at midnight on Thursday. You know, a long day of traveling. So on Friday, when she came to unload, we just all went out and helped her unload. A couple of us helped her set up. Then when it was time to go home and she packed up, people helped her load her car back up. So it was such an enjoyable trip. I have no words. I just love the sampler. And you know, I think I said I have 5 starts coming up in the next month and a half. Well, I might have 6. I picked up, this was one of her new releases, which is Above All. And look at these people. I love it. And the colors are fantastic. I picked a couple of different fabrics from Theresa's table. This is Exju. This is light hazelnut. I think this is an Exju. I'm not sure. I think all of her fabrics were, I don't know. Extra Designs. Isn't that pretty? Such a warm, latte-like color. Beautiful, rich color. And then I also picked up, that was 36 count, and this one is a 46 count light drab. Well, it's such a pretty sort of a light, what would I say? Light creamy color. And it has very light, slight modeling. So I got about half of that because absolutely, why wouldn't I? And then I told myself someday I'm going to start collecting these. Well, the retreat was someday. So I picked up these 2. This is Henrietta and this is Jenny. I love these. Stacy Nash. Look at the backs of those. How cute is that? And I also won this a little game we played. Theresa had this on the table, so this is what I picked up. This came out at Market. She has the tomato or pumpkin. I guess this is a pumpkin. You can make it a tomato. And she has a pear. And I wish she would have made it a kit, so I wouldn't have to source the velvet. But you know, I can find that. I picked up Theresa's Celebrate book. There, I haven't looked inside of this. I can't show you the rest of it, but she has some adorable patterns in here. She also has this in punch needle, and I was going to go back and get it, and I forgot. Now that I'm obsessed with punch needle. There's that. Oh, I picked this up at the Woolen needle too. This was hanging on. It was hanging up. It's not very big. It's like the size of this 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. It's not that big, and it's a kit, so all the things are in here. It's all black and cream, which I love. And the rest of this is mail. Oh, Theresa Koget and Stitching with the Sisterlies and Niecy Lynn had a Halloween party, and I won this Theresa's giveaway. I love this. Lincoln Ziegel. This is going to be in my Stitch Mania. I'm doing another Patriotic Stitch Mania next year. This one's going to be on there. Gorgeous. I do have a giveaway from last time too that I'm going to include. Yeah, oh, come on. All right, so this was in the mail. It took me a while to get this. This one, I don't know if you can find it. This is Blackbird's Halloween 1904, but look at this. Oh my stars. I love this. And Kelly Stadol has already bought it, so now that I show it, Kelly, you can't be tempted. It was coming in the mail when she posted it. I did hear a little bird say that it's possible Blackbird might get back into the quilt business. A new book in fabric, but I don't know. It hasn't been verified yet, but it gives me hope because I love all of their stuff. I picked up some stuff. Okay, this is another one. This was on sale on eBay, and it was more than I wanted to pay, so I went out and just Googled it. I found it at a shop for whatever the sales price was when it came out. It's got a little bit of a sticker residue on it, but it's a punch needle book. I wanted to show you this. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's a rug hook book, but you can make this a punch needle. Like, look at this beautiful pair. And that cabinet, wouldn't you love to have that cabinet? And like, here's one. The colors just slay me. I love it. How cute is that bird? Anyway, so maybe I'll try and do some punch needle out of that book. Make instead of doing rug hooking, I'll do punch needling because I don't have the rug hooking stuff. Yay! Thank you to Kay Dunlap. She gave me a lead on this book. I was trying to find it. A couple people sent me some information. Thank you for responding to my request if I could locate it. I found this one at Quilter Station in Lee Summit. You might call if you're interested in finding one to see if they have any more. I am tickled that I got this. Thank you so much, Kay, for bringing it to the retreat to me at the retreat. A couple other things here. I ordered from Not Forgotten Farm this fan pin cushion. This also will be a Stitch Mania start next year. And this one is called, that one was called Patriotic Fan Pin Keep, and this one is called Scissors Pillow, which is a clever idea. Look at the little super cute sewing notions on there. And then from Lisa Bonjean at the Primitive Gatherings, I picked up this punch needle. Sorry, it's kind of glary and there's a big sticker on the front of it. I love that. It calls for like 8 Valdani threads though. So the pattern was like $5, but the Valdani threads are expensive. So I might have to collect that stuff over time. And then also this one, this is a Late Summer Blooms pincushion. And that is a wool applique little kit. Oh, I love that. I'm sure that doesn't have the threads in it either. From Misty Purcell. Oh my gosh, my mind is starting to go here. Burr, It's Cold Outside by With Thy Needle. Oh my stars. Don't you want to just start that? I might stitch that on the 46 count fabric. And then Mr. Marshmallow. Adorable. Got a piece of Kermit, but I don't think I'll stitch it on Kermit. I have some other fabric I have in mind for that one. And then Annie B's. Look at these little ornaments. They're so cute. This is called I Believe in Christmas by Annie B's Folk Art. And then Misty threw this little extra skein of Ladybug Classic Colorworks. Thank you, Misty. Super thoughtful. We're almost there. The last thing I picked up was a recommended book. This is Creative Stitching by Sue Spargo. And it really has to do with a lot of different stitching that you use for, it's like embroidery, but you can use it for wool applique. It is a great book. Just to flip through and read it. And she did this, it might have been last year or the year before, where you learn to stitch every day on these little pennies. And when you're done, you have sort of like a little quilt that has all these pennies on it. If you Google this, you'll be able to see more about that. Great reference book. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pause for a second. And we have the giveaway from last time, which is Virtue Outshines the Stars. Yep. By the Needle's Praise. And we have Anagram Diffusion by Creation Jean-Louis Grandsire. I don't know. Sorry, I'm not French. I'm going to go ahead and insert a video with the winners here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and see who won the season. Let's see the season chart. DWolf581. Thanks for all the Flosstubes to keep us occupied at home during the season of quarantine. Patience is a virtue. No, that's the truth. Thank you for that. I'm looking forward to starting any one of my kitted samplers I have, but a Savior's Praise is catching my eye lately. Debbie Wolf in Kansas. Thank you, Debbie. I'm going to go ahead and comment on your comment, and I'll also put my email address in the drop-down box of this particular video. All right. Here is the selection of the person who won Virtue. Peggy St. Clair. I just ordered when it was Rose Manor, and I'm really looking forward to starting it as soon as it arrives. Virtue seasons, thanks. Well, good job, Peggy. Congratulations on your win. I will go ahead and comment on your comment and then put my email in the drop-down box below. Thanks to everyone for your entries. Okay, the magic of video. I got a little chilly, so I put on a sweatshirt. So one last thing I wanted to show you that I picked up. So I got this at a store in Amana. These are the types of things, in my opinion, you can find these at gift shops and decor stores, and maybe, I haven't seen this at Hobby Lobby, but I'm going to paint mine black. I like the red one that Theresa Koget picked up, and Michelle and Teresa and I were shopping when we all got one like this or smaller. I had several choices. But don't be afraid to pick something up like this and change it. You know what I mean? I'm going to go ahead and spray paint it black. I'm going to put some sort of finial on top here. But the project I showed you, like this, that I saw in the woolen needle, it was mounted. It was finished like this in the it's the bottom one with the stars. And it was just close pinned on to something like this. And this is freestanding, so it just stands up. It's just one way to kind of create some vertical elevation and space for your finished items. I don't know where you can find this, but if you screenshot this picture, just screenshot this and you can do a Google image search, and I think you might be able to find it online. Don't ask me how you do that, but if you just Google, how do I Google image search, it'll tell you how to do it. I think you have to take a picture and then there's a process to it. You might even have to download an app. But this is adorable. And then, you know, for me, this green is not my color, but black goes with everything, right? Am I right, ladies? That's it for today. I hope you all are doing well. Oh, we did do some Christmas shopping this morning. I know, right? Because Christmas is just about 6 weeks away. I didn't want to get caught with not being able to have things delivered because of the convergence of all of the people who are ordering online. So my husband and I sat down and sort of did our first wave of Christmas shopping. Our kids are in college, so it's tough. I mean, they get to the point now where they like clothes and household items, which I think is hilarious, right? Because when they're teenagers, all they want is video games and electronics. And now they're like, I really need, you know, socks. I really need underwear, right? I really need knives for my kitchen. You know, I don't have any cups to drink out of. So it's changed, and it's kind of fun to buy things that they don't expect because they expect you to buy household items and clothes. So it's just a different stage of our life, and they really want money more than anything. So, but don't we all? That's it for today. It was great sitting down and talking with you, and I look forward to seeing you in the future at a retreat next year. Hopefully that vaccine comes out and is effective in the spring, and we can all resume sort of our normal, whatever normal looks like in the future. One other thing is that my employer has decided that my office won't reopen. I'm going to permanently work from home until, you know, some other things are decided. So I was like, that was best case scenario for me. I'm going to miss the people that I would see every day. I'm an extrovert and I love the human connection. So that is, you have to get it other ways through technology. But what I have gained in my life, not having to commute to work, has been a great trade for me. I hope and pray that y'all are having good outcomes in your life as well, that you're safe and you're healthy, that if you're looking for employment or you're adversely affected by the decisions that are made to help protect our society, I'm so sorry for you and for that. I hope that your outcome is better than you expected it to be. I'm thinking about you all. I will see you again after the holidays, after Thanksgiving, and I look forward to future communications. Take care. Bye.
Look at all these snow globes in the background that are, they have sparkly stuff.
I got somebody picking fight right now.
Midwest.
I recognize that coin.
No, it started about 3 days before I went.
Okay, I'm gonna start down on this end then.
Look at how joyful that snowman looks. And this one has a little scissor pocket on the back. How cute is that? Wee Santa.
No, this is cute. You know what? This shadow is just as bad.
This is serious business.
Okay, Teresa, let's see.
It's got a crank on the back of it.
Are you going to go do surgery?
My eyes, wait.
Dr. Teresa.
You need to. Put your knees in the, put your feet in the stirrups.
Nope, nope, nope.
Not the headband. Yeah, where your glasses are, they need to be up a little, I think.
Just any old night at the Rudy Ranch.